Hey everybody, welcome back. We're going to do yet again another video on taxes, and this is going to be a really important one. And the reason it's really important is that today we are going to actually be doing math to figure out how much money in taxes is going to be taken out of each of your individual paychecks. So kind of leaving off from last time, we discussed the different aspects of equity, both horizontal, both vertical equity. And this chart here is really going to illustrate how we're going to get those different types of equity and really what this chart, what it even all means, because it is going to be a little bit confusing if you just look at it and have no idea what it was trying to get across. But anyways, when you guys are going to be doing your tax assignment, there's going to be 4 different problems that you're going to have to work through. And within that, I'm going to have 4 different tax brackets. And the picture I have here is an example of one bracket. So just kind of looking at it, you see that this one is come out or has been brought up by the IRS for your federal income tax. And then below that, really what you need to key in on is going to be the heading below. So you see this one here, as I highlight it, is going to show it's talking about unmarried individuals. So those of you that are single, which I don't think any of you are married, and if you had within the last few weeks, congratulations. But for the sake of this assignment here, we are going to have it for unmarried individuals, so you're going to be filing as a single. Now, after that, you're going to have to try to figure out the left column where you're going to fit the taxable income aspect of it. So again, taxes, they are proportional. They have horizontal equity, so anybody who makes the same amount of money as you is going to have to be paying the same amount of taxes. And then you have vertical equity. So somebody who makes more money than you, again, they are going to have to pay more money in taxes. But kind of breaking down what all this means. We'll use the example for this one here. Say if you make $60,000. So as you look at the different brackets, if you make $60,000, you are going to fit into the third bracket, which I'll just put a highlight to the side of that one right there. Now, with it being proportional, you can see that that tax bracket is taxed at 22%. Now, what that means is any money that you make over this $40,125, that is what is taxed at 22%. You don't have to pay 22% on every bracket, just this specific one here. And that's one thing that gets lost in translation a lot of the times. A lot of stuff that I see posted on social media and Facebook saying that if we have a 52% income tax and I make $10,000, I'm losing more than half of my money in taxes. Well, that would be true if they weren't proportional, but because they are, you only have to pay this percent at the 22 over $40,125. So this chart is going to really simplify things for you. It's going to make your math a lot easier. So we already talked about the column on the left. That's where you're going to have to do figure out what your math is going to be and what you're taxed at the highest percent. But the image on the right does the math for you up until your bracket. And what I mean by that, so the first bracket we see is $9,875. Any amount of money you make during that bracket, you are taxed at 10%. And as we see, as you make even $1 more than that, that next dollar is taxed at 12%. I'll just highlight that one here. Now, what this chart does, it does the math for the brackets below. So as you can see, I use the example of an extra dollar being used or earned. Well, you only have to pay 12% of that $1. So all you do is you add $987.50 plus that 12% of whatever you earn over that initial value. And then as we keep going, I use the example of being in $60,000. So we're going to be in the third bracket. It has already done the math for you for the first 2 brackets. So you don't have to pay everything again at 22%. You just have to pay this $4,000, I'll highlight again, $4,617.50 plus 22% of whatever you earn over $40,125. Now, if that is confusing, we'll go to the next slide here, and I have a specific example. I have horrible handwriting, so I had my lovely wife write the numbers here, and so it just makes it a little bit easier to follow along. And I'll be explaining the different processes here, and I'll just highlight as we go. So, the example, if Susan makes $20,000 per year, how much money will she pay in federal taxes. So again, what is the first thing we have to do? We have to figure out what bracket we actually fall into. And okay, we see we're over $9,875, so we're automatically in the second bracket. Do we earn more than $40,125? No, we do not. Therefore, our first step is figuring out that we are in this bracket right here. So my total income is $20,000. So the way I figure out my taxes now, again, it's not $20,000 times 12%. That wouldn't be proportional. I have to figure out how much money is taxed at 12%. So then I go to this part right over here, try to draw a star. Not so bad. $20,000 minus $9,875. Now again, where did I get that $9,875? That is going to be the second bracket minus the first bracket. What does that equal? That equals this amount right here, $10,125. Now the next step, $10,125, I need to tax that at 12%. So doing the math here, the $10,125 times 12% equals $1,215. But that's only the second part. Now I need to add the brackets together. Again, it has already done the math for me. With the first bracket, I just figured out my excess over the $9,875 is $1,215, but I need to add the bracket below, which is why I have this $1,215 plus $987.50. And if you're confused on where I got that $987.50, that's where you need to go to where it says the tax is. Right here where I'm highlighting, $987.50. Add all those together, and you are taxed at $2,202.50. Now, taxes. Do we like them? No, absolutely not. If I were to ask you if you'd want to keep that money or essentially donate it to the government, most of us would probably say that we want to keep that money. But as I went through in the other video talking about why they are important. But one thing I did forget, your joke. I know that's the real reason everybody comes here to watch this video. But my question to you is, why does a shark not attack a tax inspector? The answer, professional courtesy. So, as always, take it in, reflect on it. Hopefully none of your parents are tax inspectors. If so, I apologize. It is a noble job. But as always, there is your joke. So hopefully you're able to figure out the taxes. And if you have any questions from here on out, as always, don't hesitate to ask.